Hey guys, hey, today I just wanted to do kind of, just a shorter, video about something that I think that a lot of naive women need to kind of deal with, and I'm talking about emotional and psychological manipulation. So what I wanted to do was just kind of go over a few of the signs and things like that, what to look out for, perhaps maybe if you're dating somebody new, or people have said, oh, this relationship might be toxic, he's an asshole to you, whatever. So I just want to kind of go through that today. Okay. The first thing that an emotional manipulator or a psychological manipulator will use, one of their first tactics is called rationalization. Okay, well, this occurs when they try to downplay the situation, or when they try to downplay like what they've done. Okay, I cheated on you with fucking Jennifer. At least I didn't cheat on you with 10 other girls. Like, are you serious right now, motherfucker? Okay, well, cheating is cheating. I don't give a fuck if you cheated 1 time or 10 times. Same fucking shit, okay? So that's always a big thing. They always try to make it, like, oh, it's not as bad as it seems. Like, it could have been worse, kind of thing. Move on. Okay, number 2, justification. I particularly think that women need to pay a little more attention, to this one, because the justification process usually stems from someone that suffers from what I like to call grandiose narcissism. It's a superiority complex. It's a sense of entitlement. We should worship the ground that they walk on because we're all just a bunch of little peons and they are fucking, living gods. They're kings, blase, blase. Basically, it's more or less they're going to use the phrase like, okay, everybody has bad days. I'm being a super big asshole today because everybody has bad days. I'm allowed bad days. I'm allowed to do... Shut the hell up, okay? Really? You know what? Yeah, we all have bad days. Get the fuck over it. It's called being an adult. Okay. All right. Number 3, projection of blame. This is a good one. This primarily is when the manipulator has done something, but since they will never take any blame or responsibility for it, what they are going to do is all of these emotions and responsibilities for all the shit that they've done they can't handle. So what they do is they try to find someone else to displace this blame on. And like I said, that's called projection of blame. They tend to look at it like, certainly, this is not my fault. Oh my God, the whole fucking world's against me. Like, the mail didn't come on time today because the mail lady doesn't like me. Or, whatever the case may be. The fact of the matter is, nothing's ever going to be their fault. There's always an excuse. I love it. So it's always a star performance to watch. So keep your eyes out. All right. The next thing is going to be the spinning of the situation. Very, very common, if not the most common tactic used by emotional and psychological manipulators, in the sense that they are going to blame you for the way that they are acting. Okay, well, if you hadn't have done this, then I wouldn't have behaved like this. Okay, no, you're an adult. The only person who can control your behavior is you. Like, let's be real about it. You know what I mean? They try to do this because, once again, they don't want to accept the blame or the responsibility, for anything that they've done. So it's always, kind of easier to point the finger at somebody else. I think, we've all been guilty of this at one point in time, but, men tend to get better with this in age and with practice. Okay. And, the next one is going to be the terrible victim of circumstance. Oh my gosh, for example, oh, I was fired today because they hired too many people and they can't keep us on. And really? No. You got fired because your ass stopped showing up to work. Like, let's just be real about it, okay? Like I said, they never accept blame or responsibility for their actions. And it almost kind of seems like, a lost little kid, you know, who regardless to all this contrary evidence that proves that they did what they did, they will still fucking deny till the end, because it's always somebody else's fault, okay? Get rid of that shit. All right, the next one's one of my favorites. This is called gaslighting. This, I'm trying to think how to go about this one. This is more or less where the guy will make the victim, the female, his girlfriend, you know, fuck buddy, whatever the fuck she is, even though they probably think that, you know, there's something different, but it's besides the point. You know, where they in turn make them question their own validity or beliefs or the truth. Like, you know, and then the female steps back and she's like, wait a second, well, am I sure I saw what I saw? Like, she starts questioning, you know, what her reality, like what's really going on. Like, oh, okay, well, you know, maybe that wasn't a girl who called his phone. Maybe it was a wrong number, or, you know, maybe he wasn't having sex with her in the bed. Maybe he just walked in there and he fell down like that. Get the fuck on. That's what I got to say about it. No. No. The next one is going to be the shaming and the ridicule. This is more or less, you know, to where they try to get away with like their little snide remarks, you know, kind of in, you know, and they're going to say it's in a joking manner. Like, oh, I'm just picking on you. Quit being so sensitive, blah, blah. No, motherfucker. What you're trying to do is you're trying to cut me down so you can boost your own ego. Okay? Don't try me with that shit. I already know what the fuck it is. Okay? And that's wrong. All right. The next one is the intimidation tactic. This one primarily has a couple different components. This is where the man tends to, you know, elevate his voice, maybe like a deeper, more menacing, you know, sounding voice, or, you know, he does that taking in all this air and puffing up the chest, and, you know, he starts throwing things and getting mad and woo, I'm gonna act like a fucking 3-year-old because shit isn't going my way. Okay. That's more or less, you know, pretty much what they do. The mentality behind this is, if I am aggressive and outspoken, then no one will challenge my authority. And ultimately, that's what they want. They want you to back down. They want you to say, oh, okay, shit, I'm not going to argue with you anymore. I'm sorry, you're right. No. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. If you have to use an intimidation tactic like that, you're fucking no better off than a 3-year-old. Okay, so get that shit out of here. All right, the next one I call the one-up. You know, emotional and psychological manipulators will never validate your feelings or your emotions. They're great at faking emotions, but it doesn't matter what you do, what you have done. If something has happened to you, boy, they got you beat. You know, they always got that one up, like, oh, you had a bad day at work? Psh, well, so-and-so was late. I had to do this, this, and this. I had to do somebody else's job, and I didn't get paid for it. Okay, it's called being an adult. What the fuck do you want? A cookie or something? Like, you know, grow the fuck up. I don't play that shit. All right, the next one is what I call the sensitivity play. And this generally is for the more skilled manipulator, and what he will do is use common phrases such as, well, if you really loved me, you would believe me. If you really trusted me and valued me as a person, you would let me go out with my friends. If you, whatever, dude. No, because now they're trying to spin, once again, the situation around on you, and because they're trying to feed off of your emotions. They are trying to use your sensitivity against you, as though it's like a weakness, only you're not going to know that. Unfortunately, a lot of, you know, naive women that do tend to think like this. I used to be this way as well. It does kind of suck, because you do have a heart and you do kind of get sucked in, and, you know, your compassion, unfortunately, to these type of manipulators turns into a weakness that they do not share. So you might need to wisen up on that. The next one is going to be the false accusations or the accusatory manner. This is generally when the manipulators know that they've done something wrong, only they're not going to admit their wrongdoing. What they're going to say is, they're going to try to put it off on you first. Like, oh, are you cheating on me? Oh, you didn't really go somewhere last night. Are you lying to me? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever, okay? So the idea behind this is if I can get to them first, they are going to start, stop thinking. And then they're not going to question me about all the shit that I've done. Because I'm already going to prove that they're assholes. That they're the bad guy. That they're the cheater. That they're the liar. Try again. No. Get the fuck gone. All right, the next one, this is more or less, superficial emotions. Women tend to be more emotional than, men are and things like that. Women love to hear that little 4-letter word, love. Oh my gosh, you're the best. You're the only one, blah, fucking blah. Let me give everybody a refresher here. Just because a man says something does not make it true. It does not make it real. It does not make it truthful. It does not make it heartfelt. Words to them are just words. Because you have to understand that in an emotional manipulator and a psychological manipulator, in his mind, they're very skilled at what they do. They don't look at you as a person. You're an object. You're a thing. You will never be a person to them. Therefore, they tend to have zero value for the female role. It means absolutely nothing to them. Generally, rule of thumb, though, is that with something like this usually stems more or less from childhood. This could be something maybe traumatic or like an abuseful or neglectful childhood. A lot of times this tends to kind of cover the hatred of someone doing them wrong. More often than not, their mother or, maybe a past girlfriend who have done them wrong. So, now they're going to take it out on the rest of the world because we have to pay for somebody else's mistakes. That's sort of their mentality behind it. Next is going to be the fact that they're going to lower your self-worth. They are going to make you feel like you might be the most awesome person in the world, but not to them. There's always going to be someone better. There's always going to be somebody funnier, prettier, smarter, whatever the case may be. Oh yeah, well, you're getting there, but you're not enough, and that's something that I think that, we all need to look at. I mean, general rule of thumb, if a guy is a decent guy, any decent guy will never do any of these things, okay? This is a man that's been fucked up in the head. This has been something that's been ongoing, for many, many, many years. This is not something that can just be changed overnight. A lot of times, I'm not stereotyping, I'm just saying statistically speaking, this tend to happen to men who have been incarcerated or have gone to prison for, many, many years. Things like that, they don't necessarily get rehabilitated. They learn to lie better. So, and I feel really bad saying that, but it's true. But at some point, it's kind of like that old phrase, ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. So, what I would do is just kind of, take a step back for a minute. And if you are feeling anything like this, with any guy that you're dating or in a relationship or someone, that you've started talking to, then I would really step back and kind of reevaluate where you want to go with that person, because really they're dragging you down a dead-end road. There's not going to be anything that comes out of this. You're not going to be their fucking, queen of hearts. You are not going to be the princess that they sweep off of her feet and run her up the stairwell, okay? You're not. What you are is an object. You are a stepping stone to them to get where they need to go, okay? You only have value in their life for as long as they allow you to have value. After that, they cast you out. You are of no use to them, and I think that that's really sad. I kind of similarly gone through something fairly recently, with that, and it's hard because even the best of the best can be fooled. I'm a psychology major. This shit should not happen to me, and I was fooled. Perhaps it was blind optimism, I don't know. Perhaps, it's just because I want to see the world in rose-colored goggles. I don't know. But either way, don't do any of these things, and you should never question where you stand with the man or the validity of your relationship. If you are doing truthfully, honestly, wholeheartedly, everything you can in a relationship, and maybe it's just kind of stagnant, it's not really going anywhere, it's time to get going.